Have you ever suffered from lack of motivation or procrastination? Stick with me today, and I'll share with you a tip that has gotten me through all of that. Welcome back to the show, everybody. My name is Marty. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out my channel. So today we're talking about time blocking. Now, stick with me a second here. I know you've heard all about it before, and you probably think you know all about it, but I'm going to share with you a few things that I learned along the way that made a huge difference. Now, I, just like anybody else out there, have suffered from procrastination or maybe not getting the results that I was intending on getting. But when I found out about time blocking, things got a lot better for me. There's no doubt about that. I think that a lot of us have this myth conception, right? A myth that we believe in is that we can be good multitaskers. You need to stop right there if you're one of those people that say, oh, I'm a great multitasker. Okay, maybe you are, probably not, but what happens is that when you're multitasking and you're switching your attention from one thing to another, you're only giving anything only 50% of your attention or even less, right? But when you sit down and focus on one thing, you can actually give it 100% of your attention. You can probably get that stuff done a lot faster and a lot better. So before we get into this concept of time blocking, there's a few things that you need to put into place before you implement time blocking. A lot of agents out there, real estate agents, they lack this one important thing that you need in order to get going, and that is a goal. You need a goal. A lot of agents that I talk to that get into the business, when I ask them the question, how much money do you want to make? Their answer is as much as possible. Now, okay, it sounds like a good idea, but when do you know you're on track to hit as much money as possible? You just don't. I mean, you're going to compare yourself to somebody else who's making more than you, and you want to make as much as, and it's just not a good goal in order to keep you motivated and to give you clear guidelines as to what you can hit. So if we have a clear goal, let's say you want to make $80,000, and in your market center, houses are probably, I don't know, you're generating $8,000 commission per deal. Well, then we know that you need to make 10 deals in that year, right? So we know we can backtrack those activities and put them into your calendar under time blocking and make sure that you actually get there. That's why it's so powerful to have a goal. So very important, before we start implementing time blocking, make sure you have a clear and concise goal for the following week, month, or year, right? You decide which time frame, that's less important, but having a clear goal is the most important thing. Okay, so let's get on this topic of what is time blocking. Time blocking is a way to organize your schedule in a way that it makes it impossible for you not to achieve your goals. It sounds magical, and it is, believe me. So if you know that you have to do at least 1 hour of lead generation activity every single day in order to have a very high chance of achieving your goals, then you can plan that in. I speak with so many agents and they say, oh, I'm going to reach out to 50 people this week. Then Monday comes and then they have an opportunity for a lunch with a mortgage broker. They go, they come back, they don't have the energy to do the calls. Then Tuesday rolls around, they have to hang out with their kids. And then Wednesday rolls around and an opportunity comes for a listing appointment. They know it's not a beautiful opportunity. It might not turn into anything, but then Thursday rolls around and then their friends want to go out for a drink. You see where I'm going with this. If you don't plan it in your schedule, it's never going to happen. If it's not in your schedule, it doesn't exist, that I've heard say before, right? So go ahead and get clear on how many lead generation activities you need to do per week in order to get your goals achieved. Okay? So the best thing to do is to start with a blank slate. Use Google Calendar or any type of calendar app that you want. You could even do it on an old school paper agenda. It doesn't matter. You need to start with a blank slate. Now, what should you put in your calendar first? We talked a lot about business goals so far in this episode, but that's not the first one. The first one might surprise you. For me, I know that if I don't take care of myself, if I don't go to the gym, if I don't eat better, I just don't feel good and I'm robbed of a lot of energy, right? So for me, and I imagine that for a lot of you out there, it's very important that you keep some type of regimen, whatever that's going to the gym, doing meal prepping. A lot of you like to meditate, stuff like that. Book that stuff into your schedule. It's gonna serve you so much better to be, a happy realtor, a healthy realtor, somebody who has good energy. So take that into consideration. So if you like to get to the gym 3 times a week, schedule it in, book it. Try to book it in early in the day so that nothing can potentially get in your way of you achieving your health goals. Number 2, a lot of you have families, significant others. You want to spend time with your parents, book that in your schedule. For me personally, every Tuesday night and Sunday are completely off. I am booked into my calendar and I am not taking any appointments on Tuesday evening or Sunday, right? That's time that I spend at home with the family, with my girlfriend, right? When I'm going to have kids, I'm probably going to have a few more times there in the week where, hey, this is time for the family, and that's priority for me, right? So now I've got the calendar. I've got my health goals booked in. I've got time with the family, and it's a full day. I still have 6 days, and then I've got 4 hours on Tuesday evening, and then a few hours throughout the week for the morning. The majority of the week is still open for business, but now I can schedule it in knowing that myself and my family are taken care of, right? So when should you book your lead generation activities? Everybody's different. Everybody's got a different, energy level throughout the day. For me, I know that if I win the morning, I win the day. If I do my lead generation activity early in the morning, anything else can happen in that day. I can get a client calling me up and saying, hey, I want you to go show me this property. I want to list my home. Can you make... Yeah, for sure. If I've got the afternoon free because I've taken care of all my lead generation activity in the morning, I am free to do so guilt-free. I know I've taken care of my stuff. And we talked about some very important activities you need in your schedule every single week. We talked about this topic last week. There's 5 activities. Your lead generation, your lead follow-up, practicing your skills, which you're doing right now. You're listening to a real estate coaching video. Congratulations. And we have negotiating contracts and going on appointments. Now, those last 2, you can't really schedule in, but the lead generation, you can schedule in your calendar on time blocking. The lead follow-up, you can schedule that in your calendar. And then practicing your skills, you could do that also, right? And then the rest, negotiating contracts and going on appointments, those will fall in all of the blank spaces that you have available. And that's it. That's the secret to a more efficient, a more productive schedule. It's not super complicated, but I'm sure you've heard this before from an American podcaster that I listen to, Jocko Willink. He says that discipline is freedom. And man, if you put this into action, this time blocking stuff, and you stick to it, you will find yourself experiencing more freedom. I guarantee it. All right, guys. So that's my take on the time blocking in the real estate industry. I hope that you guys enjoy these videos. As always, hit that like button, click the subscribe button. And as always, if you have any topics that you're wondering about, you're new in the industry, you have some questions about anything, and you'd like me to cover them in future videos, go ahead, comment below. If there's anything in regards to time blocking that you'd like to mention, go ahead and comment below. All right, I will see you guys next week. Ciao.